we are at the third Outlander filming location for the day. You might see behind me that this is what is filmed as Inverness. Really, we are in Falkland in Scotland. This town is stunning. It's silent, all but the pub that is at the location filmed as Mrs. Baird's Inn, her bed and breakfast, which is behind me. We've just checked in to our room. We're gonna stay in the real Mrs. Baird's bed and breakfast, which I am. Pinch me, I'm done. Like, put me in the ground, I'm done. Life is complete. You'll notice this is in the film, and then this is Mrs. Baird's, and that is the very window where Claire is brushing her hair as a ghost of a Highlander is standing right here next to this monument. Honestly, I don't know what it is. What is? So we've checked into Mrs. Baird's. We're going to honestly just walk around the square, take it in a little bit, have kind of a chill night because we've been out late pretty much this whole trip through Scotland. We're probably just gonna have a walk about the square. Everything's closed. It's a really small, cute, quaint town, absolutely idyllic, and take in all of the Outlander views and then spend the night in the real Mrs. Baird's. So we've taken photos around the square. We had a couple shandies on the terrace of the real Mrs. Baird's, and now we're gonna head inside. But Tom noticed that there's a for sale sign on this house, which has a beautiful curved window on the side. I'm gonna get hit by a car. And this house is right next to Mrs. Baird's Inn. I could live this close to Outlander. We're gonna look up the details inside our room at Mrs. Baird's. I can't believe we're staying there. There's the iconic window. We're staying here. We're staying here tonight. I am walking where the iconic actors of Outlander have walked. I am breathing their oxygen. I'm in their shadow. I will never peak. I will never peak in life as much as I am right now. We're staying in the Queen's room tonight. That's what this room is called. It has a little info about Mary Queen of Scots right here, and it also has here what's called an official copy. I'm not sure what makes a copy official, but an official copy of the warrant for the execution of Mary Queen of Scots, signed by Queen Elizabeth I. Very interesting. This could be the most perfectly themed room for me personally. Tom has work that he needs to do, and so I've decided I'm gonna watch Outlander. After talking to James today, he kind of gave me a spoiler of what happens in this next episode of Outlander season 7, and now I want to watch it. After being at Lallybroch, while I'm sitting here within the real Mrs. Baird's bed and breakfast, all I want to do is watch Outlander. I'm obsessed, and I am delusional, and I am completely submersing myself in this world. I also have some Walker's chocolate chip shortbread, which is the best of the Walker's shortbread. And I'm just gonna chill here, watch Outlander, watch what James at Mid-Hope Castle spoiled for me, and have a great night here in Mrs. Baird's. We've had the loveliest slow morning here in Falkland. Of course, stayed in the Covenanter, which is the real Mrs. Baird's bed and breakfast. I will never ever forget laying in bed and hearing the church bells from this church striking 8 a.m. It was so it was idyllic. It was so beautiful. We've just been walking around the square, and actually today we went into the storefront, which is the storefront where Claire looks in the window, sees the vase at the beginning at the beginning of the pilot, and it was closed yesterday, so we went in today. It's a beautiful fair trade shop and coffee shop, And the owner's name is Elizabeth, and she just told us, kind of like what James did, she just told us a bit about the filming, talked about how the crew has come here 4 times and how they film everything here in one day. The art department will come weeks before and get everything prepped. She said that they put a storefront directly onto her storefront, like they used the measurements of her storefront and just created kind of like a set dressing, and it clicked perfectly right onto hers. The art department's here for weeks, but then the crew and the actors are only here for like one day. We're leaving now. Feels really sad to leave, but we know we'll be back, because even if you don't love Outlander, it's such a beautiful, quaint town. It's quiet, it's beautiful. There are like rolling mountains and hills behind it, so I highly, highly recommend coming to Falkland in Scotland, and it's so close to Edinburgh. Like if you're going to Edinburgh, you might as well come spend a night here. We're now at Hopetoun House, which is like 40 minutes out of Edinburgh. Behind me is the back of Hopetoun House, and this is actually used as the Duke of Sandrinham's residence. On those stairs, many conversations have been had, and then actually right in front of me is where Jamie had his duel with the MacDonald clan. Tom was just taking my photo in front of the house, and so there were some people watching and waiting for their photos as well. And one of them goes, "Oh, is that Brianna?" And I'm like, yes, it is. If they had asked me for a photo, I would have just lied, and they would have gone home and compared me to the actress and seen that they did in fact not meet Brianna from Outlander. But oh well, they didn't ask. They figured it out. The front of Hopetoun House is actually used as Ellesmere, where Jamie worked in the stables after being imprisoned after the Jacobite Rising. There are also a lot of Paris scenes from season 2 filmed here at Hopetoun House as well. A lot of the Parisian markets, the scene where Mary is attacked, is also here, filmed here. The front of Maison de Madame Elise is also filmed here. It's just so incredible to me that 3 completely different locations have been filmed here on this one property. It is a big property. They really found unique angles using the front of the building for one estate, the back for the other, and then like the stables area for Paris. The last stop on our Scotland road trip is here in Edinburgh. We've been in Edinburgh for a couple days now, mostly just walking up and down the Royal Mile. We went to the World Ends pub, which is a book reference, because I could be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, or confirm if I'm correct, that in the Outlander book series, Dougal says that his favorite pub in Edinburgh is the World Ends pub. And anyway, we went there. We tried deep fried Mars bars. Absolutely incredible. Highly recommend. And we've just been enjoying how small and quaint and low populated and old this city is, especially compared to London. Edinburgh is so beautiful, so well preserved, and really not that busy considering how old and historical it is. I am currently standing in the final Outlander location that I'm going to share with you. There's so many Outlander filming locations scattered across Edinburgh, across Glasgow even, and of course more places across Scotland. But I'm standing in the final one that I'm going to bring you to, and that is, you might remember, where I'm standing right now is where Claire walked through that archway after being separated from Jamie for 20 years. When she comes back through the stones, she walks to what is Edinburgh in the show, walks under this opening through what is in real life called Bakehouse Close. And then behind me, she walks up these stairs, and this is Jamie's print shop in Edinburgh. Now, obviously, their 20-year later reunion is not filmed right here, even though these are the stairs that Claire walks up into Jamie's print shop, but the reunion was actually filmed in a studio. But the studio is not far from here. It's outside of Glasgow, which is about an hour away. I'm standing up here at the top of the stairs of Jamie's print shop now. This is where we're going to close out the Scotland road trip and Outlander filming locations little tour. If you enjoyed this video, only if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like. Leave a question if you have a comment. I'm gonna leave a complete list of filming locations, our road trip itinerary, everything, tips. It's all gonna be linked below for you. Thank you so much for coming along on this trip. That was really so meaningful and special to me. It means so much that you would come along. I'll see you soon.